the dream that built the West.
Before there were fences, before there were roads, before there were grain elevators reaching into the prairie sky, there was only grass. Endless grass, an ocean of wind stretching farther than the eye could see. To some, it looked empty, but to others, it looked like possibility. Across the Atlantic, millions of people lived lives that seemed already written. A farm would never be theirs. Their children would inherit little more than the work of their parents. Opportunity belonged to someone else. Then came an invitation. Come west. Land awaits. A future can be built by your own hands. Many left villages that had stood for centuries, places rich with tradition, but often poor in opportunity. Land was scarce. Advancement could feel impossibly distant. For many families, the future seemed to repeat the past. The promise of the Canadian West offered something profoundly different: the chance to begin again. They sold what little they owned, packed their lives into wooden trunks, said goodbye to parents, brothers, sisters, perhaps forever. Ahead lay thousands of kilometers of uncertainty. Yet for many, uncertainty felt more hopeful than certainty. The railway was more than steel and timber. It stitched together a continent. It carried families west. It carried lumber, seed, livestock, machinery, letters, and hope. Without the railway, much of Western Canada's settlement would have unfolded very differently. Imagine stepping off the train. Behind you, everything you have ever known. Ahead, almost nothing familiar. No cathedral, no village square, no streets lined with centuries-old stone. Only sky, wind, grass, and a horizon that refused to end. Yet this land was not empty. For thousands of years, indigenous nations had lived, traveled, hunted, traded, and built relationships with these grasslands. Their knowledge of the seasons, wildlife, rivers, and weather had been shaped over countless generations. Newcomers arrived carrying traditions from Europe. They entered a landscape with its own deep history, one that would influence their lives in ways they often did not yet understand. Somewhere beyond that horizon, a home would be built. A field would be cleared. A garden planted. Trees would grow where none had stood before. Children would be raised. Communities would emerge. Alberta's story would not begin with buildings. It would begin with a decision to stay.